Right now, joining us on the Skype line is our very own Ross Owen.
Hey, Ross.
Yay. Ross, how are you doing?
Good evening from Bonnie, Scotland. Hi, Rick. How are you?
I'm good, Ross. How are you? I feel like in a weird kind of way, I feel like I drove London to Glasgow yesterday to get here. So it's appropriate that you should be joining us.
Yeah, the only difference is the weather, probably.
Yeah, it's amazing here, Ross. I don't want to rub it in, man, but you know, it's as bad as good as any British summer you've ever seen, and a bit better. And the colours are fantastic. The colours of fall. The colours of fall as well as you drive down here. You know, it's corn, and then there's some more corn, but it's just vast, and it's reds and goldens. It's really beautiful. It was a hell of a drive. It was worth it.
I got jealous as soon as I saw the ribs on your plate in that photograph last night. So.
Right, yeah.
It's good to see you in the chat room as well. The girls in the chat room and the guys, fans from all over the world who are and even your brother is in the chat room, and everyone's loving every second listening to the interview. So thanks for being part of it.
Well, it's nice to be involved. I'm grateful to be here.
Well, I've got a question for you, and that is, when you filmed episode 9.
Yeah.
How difficult was it for you, with the concentration camp set, and did that affect you in any way?
Yeah, I would be a liar if I said it didn't affect all of us, really. I mean, I've never seen anything like that set. As I remember it, I might be mythologizing this a little bit, but certainly it wasn't a set we wandered about before we shot. This was not a set you were welcome to walk around, and it was a way away from the main base in Hatfield. In fact, quite appropriately, it was certainly in the middle of dense, dark woods, and I wouldn't even be able to tell you where it was, which again seems pretty appropriate. But what I'm trying to say is we didn't actually visit the set until we shot. Almost to the extent was I have a feeling that whole train of cameras was pretty much set up on those vehicles as we pulled up, which you can imagine is a pretty heavy deal. And we didn't go through the gates until we went through the gates.
Yeah, when we were talking with Ross McCall, that's what he said.
Oh, did he?
There was nobody allowed to see any of that stuff, and the very first time we saw it was the first time the camera saw it.
Yeah, I think he's right.
And
I'm glad he said that.
And it was, the pure shock and horror.
Yeah, I mean, that train towards the end of the
beautiful.
set, none of us had seen the train, and that was quite a way back into the camp. And that was full, obviously, of bodies. And there was this extraordinary, my lasting memory of it, funny enough, was this animatronic victim that they had. I think they had a number of them, but one in particular was, I mean, this thing was unbelievable. I couldn't even describe how they'd made this thing. I guess it makes the series.
Yeah.
It's not kind of thing that you pause frame on and check out, but this victim, this Holocaust victim that was barely alive, that was a puppet.
We didn't even know until we talked to we didn't know they used animatronics.
Mm-hmm.
We thought they dug.
I am right, aren't I?
You're right. No, you're
pretty sure.
Right. They had animatronics all over the place, and we didn't realize the whole time. I was like, well, I just thought they found all the skinniest people on the planet, and put them in the scene. But apparently, there were fewer actual people than there were animatronics.
Yeah, I think so. And what was extraordinary for us actors is that because, as I say, we didn't explore it. You know, most of the company are there. We all pitch up, but to lesser and greater degrees, some of the actors got to go into more of the set than others. And you know what? I was happy not to. I stayed at the gates. I went in a little bit. There was a very low feeling there for the whole time we shot that stuff. And
being a history major, you've already went.
Yeah.
Do they call it a major over there?
No, well, they call me
when you study the history, they what is that called when you're?
Well, I supposedly I've got an MA honours degree in history. I should only have a BA, but because of the university I went to, I get given an MA.
Nice.
It means a Master of Arts.
Can I jump in and
of
say
course,
that
Ross,
Rick is being very humble here? He's actually. Can I say the name of the university?
If you want to say that I went to Cambridge, then I'll say it.
Yeah.
Well.
You guys are sitting in the company of a Cambridge graduate.
Yeah, but I screwed up my degree, Ross. I was busy acting, mate.
So you're 3 units short of it.
No, I didn't screw up my degree. I just didn't. The truth is, I did okay at my degree until my second year, And then I was doing a lot of acting. You know, I was a member of the Footlights as well as all the sort of serious side of Cambridge drama, and it just took over. And
wow.
I didn't fail my degree at all, but I could have probably done better.
Were you on the crew as well? Did you row? Were you?
I didn't row. No, I was told that I should cox. You know, the little guy who shouts a lot.
Right.
But I didn't do that either. You know what?
I can see that.
It meant getting up, Jenna.
Right.
I don't know
Getting up
you
in
guys,
the morning.
I didn't get up before 10 or
there.
11 o'clock until, you know, I got married.
So you decided to lean towards acting. Was it the large paycheck or the
no,
number of women?
No, it's an illness. It's an illness I caught when I was about 9. Acting. I realised, you know, it was my birthday last week. And,
Happy birthday!
Thank you very much. And I realised I've been acting 30 years.
Wow.
And it's kind of the only constant I can actually honestly remember. It's kind of more constant every year. You know, I've ended up pretending to be other people.
Now, when you were
How mad
9,
is that?
what were you doing? Commercials? Or?
No, nothing professional. But I just
okay.
started doing it at school, and I caught the bug very, very quickly. In fact, I think I sort of played the biggest thing I ever played. The most lines I've ever had, I was 10 years old. It was Henry Higgins in My Fair Lady, and that's a lot of lines for that old dude.
10-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 11 maybe. Anyway, the point is that it wasn't the paychecks. It's more of an illness, Jenna. I think.
Actually, since we're speaking of acting, I received a question for Randy in North Carolina who wanted to know how you prepared for your wounded scene.
The wounded scene is kind of interesting because I've had some, I wouldn't quite call it criticism about it, but I said to you earlier that I made a decision that combat was terrifying and random, and I made a decision that getting shrapnel, red hot shrapnel in your groin on Christmas Eve was going to hurt like crazy. And I'd seen a lot of people being stoic with wounds that happen in Band of Brothers. A lot of people, but the honest truth is, I decided to scream my head off. Which I don't know. There have been suggestions from some people I've spoken to since have sort of said, oh, it paints Harry as not quite cowardly, but you know, it's too painful. It's too. But I just think red hot metal to your groin.
That can never be a good thing.
Do you know what I mean? He's thinking of Kitty. He's thinking of his girl back home. He's thinking of no kids to come. He's thinking everything's flashing. And he doesn't know whether he's badly hit or not badly hit. So yeah, that was how I prepared for it.
I don't think anybody could prepare for that
No.
amount of pain.
No, exactly, and it's where that method thing, as I say, stops, because I just have to guesstimate what that feels like. You know, it's arguable. I guess I could have gritted my teeth more and just taken it.
Yeah.
But there were plenty of people, I think, doing that, and I don't know. I made a call that I wanted to look scared.